Happy Saturday. I have been waiting for this for super, super long. I'm so excited that it came, so I thought we would open it together. This is the Sock of the Month Club from Botanical Yarns. Vintage Seeds Sock Club. I don't want to ruin it, it's so pretty. Ooh. All right, so there's Botanical Yarn. In my crafting era. Stickers. And a thank you. All right. Here it is. And now just my colors. Oh, it's so beautiful. So this is the January Sock Club of the month from Botanical Yarns. welcome to Knit a Rainbow. My name's Kimberly McAlinden and I am thrilled that you are here. So this week I've done a bunch of work, not really a lot to show for it, but next week will be really busy. So let's get into what I have done. Last Saturday was a blocking bonanza. I had so many things to block and I kind of really like to do that where I do like massive blocking. I just think it's super fun, and it also kind of saves me money because as you can see, I will use the same water for more than one project. In this instance, it was for all the socks. I actually have my socks on right now. I finally am wearing my first pair. And then the second pair, which blocked out so beautifully. Let me show you these. And, I've been watching The Crazy Sock Lady and Summer Lee. I love their podcasts. And on Summer Lee's, she was like, make sure, she has like a top tips or something for sock knitters, and she's like, make sure that you block them even though they're going to go on your feet. Make sure you block them, and it absolutely changed the socks. Now, I mean, I found it pretty crazy that I constantly am saying, block your things, block your things, blocking is magical, block your things, and like I never blocked socks before. Let me tell you, the stitches all turn into like this beautiful, I mean, they're beautiful. The only issue was the top, because I knit these top down and I, was kind of rushing on these because I couldn't wait to see the colors emerge. I cast on with the long tail cast on, and the tops, because I made these longer, so they come up on my calves a bit. They're too tight at the top. So I actually did take out, which I just these just came off the blocking board. This one is much better. And next week I'll show you what I did. I just don't have time. It's already Friday afternoon, but you can definitely see the difference here. This one is much more stretchier than this one. And this one feels like tight at the top and this one doesn't. And what I did in theory, which I will show you eventually, is I picked up because they're knit top down. It's not like you can clip a stitch and pull it out, because it doesn't work that way. So what I ended up doing was taking this first round here and putting my double pointed needles in and then cutting the top and then taking it out. It was pain. I knit up my 20 rows and my 20 rounds, and then at the top I did it's kind of like Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, but I didn't do it for every stitch because then it was like gross open, and I wanted it to still be not tight at the top, but I didn't want my calves strangled. So every third stitch was a regular bind off, and then the other two were surprisingly stretchy. And that's what I did for these. And you might wonder, like, Kimberly, aren't you sick of knitting the same pair of socks and taking them out and doing them again? And the answer is no, because I'm learning, I'm relearning, and I'm seeing what works for me. Why would I want to spend $30, $40, $60 on a pair, beautiful yarn to be sent and shipped to me, and then make something out of it and not love to wear it or have it be super comfortable for me? That's just, I never understood when knitters would come into the yarn shop when I was working in a yarn shop, and they would be like, oh, and I just gave it to my, my son's girlfriend, or I gave it to my daughter, and that's fine. But if you made something with you in mind, I want you to wear it. True to form, I, you know, had this one knit. I think I showed you last week. And I didn't get as far this week, but this is as far as I am on the second sock. This is, I think it's Summer Lee's pattern, Ode to Barbara, or Barbara socks. Of course, I don't have the name on here, but this is what they look like. And I'm just doing all one color. I think they're called Barbara socks. Ode to Barbara, something like that. So I am working my way down the foot. I don't have much to go. And it's fun, it's engaging. But let me tell you what I learned about on this one. On this, what I learned, because I watched Summer Lee, I ordered these. So the other, you know, vanilla socks, I was using these Chigu, the 9-inch, right? 9-inch, size 1 or size 0. Size 1, right? And that was fine. It's a little to get used to because each end, there's 2 in here, each end is pretty small. And Summer uses these Chigu twists. And the cool thing about this is there's 2 different size cables, and then you have 2 sets of, they're interchangeables, right? Sort of. So you have a shorter one and a longer one. And on my shorties, I use a long tip and a short tip when I'm doing things like swatches in the round and things like that. And so she actually does that as well. So there's a 3-inch tip and a 2-inch tip. So I put 1 3-inch tip and 1 2-inch tip on the 6-inch cable. So here's the 3-inch tip and the 2-inch tip. And it's so much bigger than 9 inches around. Not only that, it has more heft. There's something to grab onto besides just the cord, and it's much better on my hands. Much, much better. And it's, you know, it's bigger, right? It's now 11 inches. Let's do the math. 2 and 3 is 5. Plus 6 is, look at me, 11. So I have 11 inches around. The stitches still work wonderfully well. And this was about a $20 investment, which we know I will use because, as you can see on Saturday, I received my Botanical yarn Sock of the Month Club for January. So I'm very, very excited. Sophie, I love the yarn. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to get knitting on that. Also in the blocking bonanza is the quilted cardigan. This was this year's Vita Lifestyle. This was her advent. Actually, the back is every single one. Can you see that? And so I did decide, I did a poll, I asked a bunch of people, and I did decide to use the purple. And it just turned out so lovely. I haven't had pictures taken with me in it yet, but it's, oh, it smells so good. I love that jasmine. So here it is. So that's another finished object. I loved doing it. And one more row in Georgia. This is the second year in a row that they have done my pattern as their knit along, and they zoom me in on the first night. They have pizza, and it was just really fun. So I got to do that this week as well. So that was really cool. And I've also set up the Facebook group for the knit along. It is a private Facebook group and the community is already starting. So the knit along for my knit along, which is, when I say mine, it's mine and Tabitha's. It is the 4th annual Life and Rainbows knit along. We are doing the Evie B sweater, which I just so happen to have right here. And so it's all about color work. So this is the sample. But a lot of people, if you don't want to invest your time in a sweater, but you want to learn the color work techniques that I have to teach you, there is also a cowl and a hat pattern. All 3 patterns are included in the price of the knit along. So I happen to think it's a bargain. Any information that you're looking for the knit along will be in the description box below. The other thing I'm working on that is super exciting, and you'll see the sweater behind me. That's the Chopin sweater by my friend Margaret of Boboleros. She also has a YouTube channel. I'll put all that in the description box. She wore this at Cake Palooza, and when it was over, we finally had a chance to chat, she said, could you help me reverse engineer this and write the pattern? So that's what I've been doing. Because I had just come off of knitting the quilted cardigan, I was like, you know what, do you mind if I make mine a pullover? And so some of you might have seen it in my stories, but here is the pullover version. I am just about to split for the sleeves. Isn't she pretty? So a couple things I did was, I'm basically writing the pattern. Margaret wrote down notes of what she has done, and then she asked me to translate that into a workable pattern. And so that's what I'm doing. I also put some short rows in mine in pattern, which was, sometimes you do stuff and you're like, oh. So I was really excited about the short rows in the back as opposed to the front. And it's in pattern and it's just super exciting. I love the way this looks. I can't wait to work on this. I'm also releasing for all of you, if you see it this weekend, the Loyal Fairy, and I'm very excited to be releasing it. It's a long time coming. I kind of have like nervous energy when I'm about to release a pattern, and it's not like excited energy. It's like I've put my time and, my talent and, my creativity, and had it tech edited and had it tested. And I'm like afraid to put it out there if it flops. I don't know. I'm just keeping it real with all of you. I think that's I just feel like, I don't know. I just am kind of being I'm just a little unnerved by it for some reason. It's a wonderful pattern. It's top down. It's not your normal knit, and it would be wonderful for the spring and summer. It's like a 3-season. I love the way it looks. I'm going to release it Saturday. If you watch this Friday night, come back on Saturday and there'll be a code in the description box for a discount on the pattern. So it's going to release. I'm excited now, but now I have butterflies in my stomach. I know you guys don't normally see this side of me, but this is a very real side of me where I get a little bit nervous about releasing patterns. I don't know why. So I hope you enjoyed the Loyal Fairy pattern. Look for, and just for probably the first week, if you watch my YouTube videos, there will be a code in the description box for a percentage off. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to, this week coming up, we're supposed to get a couple snowstorms coming, so that's fun. We have the Super Bowl, or as my mother used to call it, the Stupid Bowl, that we're going to go to a party for. So that'll be fun. And all I want to do is get up and knit. I'm just in that era now where I want to knit. So this week coming up will be finishing the barber socks. I will be finishing this and writing patterns and making charts, finishing up and formatting these patterns, and sending it over to my tech editor, the awesome Kim of Knit Julep, and she will be working on the knit along patterns. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I am here. Leave me a comment. I love reading them. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to next week. Bye! And then working on, wow. That was right on that whole thing was on my lip. Can you see it? Oh, I dropped it now.